What up, y'all? You're listening to Sports Talk with Tropp, and I'm your host, Katie Tropp. Well, we just have nothing but baseball to discuss today because, basketball's over. Football season, we've got some off-season stuff going on, but it's not really going to kick off until next month once training camp begins at the end of July. And then, of course, if you're wondering, I don't discuss World Cup crap on here because I think soccer's the gayest shit alive. Yes, you can quote me on that shit, too, by the way. Don't care what you think about that. I hate soccer, so I ain't talking about that crap. This is a show where I talk about actual sports. Fuck soccer, fuck women's basketball, fuck softball, fuck tennis, fuck golf, fuck racing. Fuck your little snowboarding and skiing and goo goo gaga. This ain't that show. So if you're looking for World Cup talk, there's plenty of stupid ass shows you could go listen to that is talking about gay ass soccer. But anyways, let's get into a real sport, baseball. We had us quite the week of baseball, beginning on Monday between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Miami Marlins. Zach Wheeler finally had one of his most dominating games of the season. You know, he's been working his way back from injury, and so he really hasn't been the same Zach Wheeler, but here he is. We went 6 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts. The Marlins weren't able to even score an earned run on him. But the big news in this one was Gabriel Rincones Jr. I probably just butchered that, by the way. But anyways, his first hit, he walked right up to bat. He just got called up. This is his first game. His first hit is a home run out of the park. So that was actually the big news on this one. And then also for the Phillies, Justin Crawford had a solid game, went 3 for 4 with an RBI and a stolen base. Rincon just walked right up on his first at bat and boom, knocks it out of the park. So that's just what you want to start. That's how you want to start your career off for sure. Then also on Monday, the Chicago Cubs have had an up and down season so far, but they had an up this week against the Colorado Rockies. They got the win 5-4. But the big news in this game was PCA hit for the cycle. He went 4 for 4, in which he had a single, a double, a triple, and a home run. He had 2 RBIs total in this game. And, that's always a big deal when you hit for the cycle. To be able to get on base and on every single one of your at-bats in the day, you couldn't ask for anything better. And then to just get the cycle to throw it in there and then to get the win is definitely what the Cubs definitely needed to do in that one. Then also on Monday, the Detroit Tigers got a win over the Houston Astros 9-3. But the player of the game in this one was Colt Keith for the Tigers. He had 3 home runs in this one with 6 RBI. Yes, 3 home runs. And he's not a home run hitter. He's a second baseman. He's mostly the dude who just gets on base, gets you some stolen bases, can get you some runs. But for the most part, Colt Keith is not a home run hitter. So for him to hit 3 home runs in one game, that's a big deal. Then on Tuesday, the Washington Nationals just keep on rolling. You know, I had them in my top 10. I've actually had them in my top 10 power rankings for the last couple of weeks. Just because they are a really damn good team, and they got to win over the Kansas City Royals 6-4. This is actually their 4th series win in a row, which really is the big deal there because they're just playing fantastic baseball right now. And Cody Mead had the go-ahead 3-run home run in the 7th inning in this one. It was a back-and-forth affair for quite some time, but the Nationals were able to hang on to that win and keep it moving. And also on Tuesday, the New York Yankees, man. You know, I had them ranked at number 1 this week on my power rankings, and they just keep on rolling. It's just crazy to see that no Aaron Judge, no problem for these Yankees. Their offense is just untouchable at this point. I mean, everybody's getting it at this point. And so are their pitchers. Their pitchers are pitching great. This week they had a series against the Chicago White Sox. So Tuesday they got the win 12-2. Garrett Cole had another fantastic outing. He went 6 innings pitched with 6 strikeouts. Rice had a home run in this one. Bellinger went 3 for 4 with 2 runs. Goldschmidt, though, this guy has been on fire. You know, with Goldschmidt, you never know what you're going to get at this point in his career because he is one of the older veterans and he's just prone to get injured. But he's been getting in and out of this lineup because of all the injuries that the Yankees have suffered, and he has been on fire this last, 3-4 weeks of baseball. He just keeps hitting home runs out of the park. He had another one in this one, and then Andrew Jones, their rookie, he also had a home run in this one as well. But like I said, the Yankees offense has not cooled off without Aaron Judge, and that's the exact opposite of what's been their issue the last couple of seasons, because, every time Judge gets injured, their offense completely tanks. Well, this year it's been the exact opposite, and they have not cooled off. Rice is on fire. Belly's on fire. I didn't talk about Jazz Chisholm, but he's on fire as well. Goldschmidt. They're just Volpe. Volpe's looking solid too. So, just offensively, they're looking really good. You've got Cole having a solid year, Schlittler, Warren, and then they get Fried back here pretty soon. Rodon, he's still trying to find his way. He actually pitched in this game, but he's still trying to find his way and trying to get back from injury. But still, even so, this Yankees team looks pretty damn good. Then also on Tuesday night, the Milwaukee Brewers got a win over the Cleveland Guardians, 2-1. Bryce Turang continues his amazing season. He had a home run in this one. Mitchell had a home run in this one. And Gasser was the pitcher in this one. He went 5.2 innings pitched with 5 strikeouts. And that just kind of seems to be the theme for this Brewers team. They are getting great production out of their starting pitchers. And then so much offensive production from so many different guys. It's just this Brewers team is really good, and it's good. It's just the first half of the season. They could be one of those teams that ends up falling off and just completely disappearing. But right now, this Brewers team is playing some excellent baseball, and they did it over the Guardians. Then also on Tuesday, another team playing excellent baseball, the stupid-ass Dodgers. They got a win over the Tampa Bay Rays, 1-0. This was a pitching duel between Robolewski and Rasmussen. Robolewski went 6 innings pitched with 5 strikeouts. Rasmussen went 7 innings pitched with 7 strikeouts. But the game changer in this one was Shohei Ohtani. He had the only home run in the game, the only run in the game. And that was obviously the difference in this 1-0 win for the Dodgers. Then on Wednesday, the Miami Marlins got a huge win over the Philadelphia Phillies, 12-4. Stowers 4 for 5 with 2 home runs and 5 RBI in this one. As a team in this one, the Miami Marlins actually had 5 home runs total. So this was just an offensive barrage from the Marlins. And then, of course, Sandy Alcantara pitched in this one. He went 6 innings pitched with 6 strikeouts. His ERA is in the high 4s right now. But other than that, he's still getting the strikeouts, still a very solid pitcher. And this Miami Marlins team is one of the hottest teams right now in the league. And especially on the offensive side of the ball. Look at 2 home runs and then 5 home runs completely from this team. It's pretty shocking to see that the Marlins are actually playing pretty good right now. Then also on Wednesday, the Dodgers got another win over the Tampa Bay Rays, 5-4. And in spite of Ohtani pitching terribly in this one, this was probably the worst game he has pitched of his entire career so far. He went 6 innings pitched with 5 strikeouts, but those four earned runs from the Rays, that was pretty much Ohtani's fault. Freeman was the difference maker in this one. He had the home run. But the big news in this one was actually this is the first sweep of that the Los Angeles Dodgers have had over the Tampa Bay Rays since 2013. So that's pretty solid baseball from both teams. I know the American League and National League teams don't play each other as much, but still to not be able to sweep a team for well over 10 years, that's pretty crazy. So the Dodgers got a nice series win there. Then also on Wednesday, the Arizona Diamondbacks took down the Los Angeles Angels 8-1. Corbin Carroll had a grand slam in this one, and that actually bumped him up to his career total of 95 career home runs. He is closing in on 100, and he's about to become, I believe, the youngest guy to get to 100 home runs. So if he just needs 5 more, and he's there. But Corbin Carroll's been having a phenomenal year. This Arizona Diamondbacks team's been pretty good for the most part. Not great, but not terrible. But they know how to win, and they're getting great production from a lot of their guys. And Corbin Carroll is most certainly a huge source of offense for them this year. Then also on Wednesday, back to the New York Yankees-Chicago White Sox series. The Yankees whooped the White Sox again, 10-5. Bellinger, 3 for 4 with the home run and 2 RBI in this one. And, Bellinger was a huge huge pickup for the Yankees. I mean, he was great last season for them. And then, of course, this offseason, he was a free agent. And they ended up re-signing him, which they absolutely needed to. And it has paid off because I feel like this is a huge reason why this team hasn't fallen off since Aaron Judge's injury, because Belly is healthy, Jazz is healthy, and you're getting just a lot. And then in this same game, with Bellinger having a home run, Paul Goldschmidt, another home run with 3 RBI in this one. So he's also just really stepping it up. And so this Yankees team, another big win over the Chicago White Sox. And then also on Wednesday, the Pittsburgh Pirates took down the A's 12-4. O'Hearn had a career night. He went 3 for 5 with 6 RBI. That is the most RBI he has had in one game in his entire career, which is a pretty stout career. I mean, he's been in the league for a minute. And then, of course, they've got some great pitching production from Ashcraft in this one, who went 6 innings pitched and 7 strikeouts. Now, this Pittsburgh Pirates team has cooled off just a bit, but they're still right there. They're still in the hunt. They're still playing great baseball. And, I mean, as you can see, they're getting a lot of solid offensive production. O'Neal Cruz is on the injured list right now, which I think has taken a huge hit for them offensively. But other than that, this Pittsburgh Pirates team is still playing pretty solid baseball. And then on Thursday, the Kansas City Royals took down the St. Louis Cardinals 14-6. The big news, though, is Salvador Perez. He's been in the league for many years, the catcher of the Kansas City Royals. He hit a home run in this one, but, he's actually had a pretty down year for Salvador Perez's standards. I mean, he's usually always raking. But for some reason this year, it's just not his year. But he did hit a home run in this one. And now he has passed the legendary George Brett to have hit the most home runs in the Kansas City Royals home stadium. So that is a huge accomplishment simply because George Brett is a legend. He is a legendary Kansas City Royal. He is a legendary baseball player, period. So is Salvador Perez, though. And now Salvador Perez is the all-time home run leader in the Kansas City Royals stadium. And also Bobby Witt Jr. went 2 for 2 yesterday with a home run, but unfortunately he was injured in the game yesterday. They haven't announced anything, so hopefully it's not anything major, but it did look like he suffered a knee injury and he was taken out of the game yesterday. He looked really fucking pissed off. So when I see that, it usually translates to a pretty decent injury, but hey, who knows? It could have just been, one of those things where it just really hurt in the moment, and he gets a couple of days to rest it, and maybe he'll be fine after the weekend. But that is something to look out for because, Bobby Witt Jr. is one of the best players in the league right now. And the Kansas City Royals are one of those teams that's hovering. They're not terrible, but they're not great. And if they just keep playing pretty decent baseball, they could be one of these teams that grabs a wild card spot when it's all said and done. But they're definitely going to need Bobby Witt Jr. to make some type of playoff run in the second half of the season. All right, so last week, I was talking about how Max Scherzer, he got his 3,500 strikeout of his entire career. And there are only 2 active players right now in the league, him and Justin Verlander, who are either at or over 3,500 strikeouts. And then Chris Sale is at 2,600. And so, or 2,600. So, I mean, he's probably not going to get to that 3,500 mark. But those are the 3 active players right now with a lot of strikeouts. And so, last week I did the top 5 hitters in the league. So this week, I'm going to do the top 5 Strikeout Kings. So these are all amazing pitchers. But the overall thing with these pitchers is they have to be strikeout kings, meaning that was what they were known for. Of course, the rest of your resume does play a little bit of a factor into this, but man, when I was going over this, the top 3, I mean, the whole 5, it was difficult, but the top 3, it was like, how do I do this? But then when you really get down into the stats, you're like, number 1 was very, very easy. I knew who number 1 was going to be. As a matter of fact, I knew the top 4 because there are only 4 guys in the history of the league to eclipse 4,000 strikeouts. So if you eclipse 4,000 strikeouts, yeah, you most certainly got to be in this list. And then, of course, there's one guy who's eclipsed 5,000 strikeouts. Only one. So he, of course, is in this. But then the number 5 guy, I really had difficulty with. So let's get right into it with my top 5 Strikeout Kings. Number 5, like I said, I was going back and forth between a few guys. But I feel like I had to put this guy on here, especially when I looked at his resume, because there was a couple other guys who were actually retired. So I will say this guy is still active in the league, but I think his career is more on the close to retirement side rather than not. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be shocked if this was his last year, because it's been a very injury-marred couple of seasons for this guy. But number 5 on my top 5 Strikeout Kings is Justin Verlander. He is the only active player on this list that I have. But like I said, his resume speaks for itself. So he spent most of his career with the Detroit Tigers and the Houston Astros. Of course, a couple other teams, but we're just going to focus mostly on the ones that he was with. He's been with those 2 teams for the majority of his career, from 2005 to still active. He is with the Detroit Tigers this year, but he's been in and out of the injured list, which is, like I said, been his theme for the last 3, 4, 5 seasons at this point. So I would not be shocked if this is the last year we get of Verlander. But I hope you all enjoyed it, because I certainly did. I mean, he has been one of the best pitchers ever, hands down. And I feel like we're all lucky in this era of baseball to actually see a dominating pitcher like Verlander to play in this game. I mean, he still plays at a high level. Even though he's been injured, when he's healthy, he's still the dude, and he's still a strikeout king. So right now, he is number 8 on the all-time strikeouts list. So he still could move up, but, it's going to take a lot of movement for him. But he could still keep it moving and still add to his resume right here. So right now, he's currently number 8 with 3,554 strikeouts. He's got 266 wins and 159 losses on his resume, so not bad at all. Career 3.33 ERA. He is a 2-time World Series champion. He has won an MVP award. He is a 3-time Cy Young Award winner. He has won a triple crown for a pitcher. He was Rookie of the Year. He is a 4-time wins leader, 2-time ERA leader, and 5-time strikeout leader. And also has thrown 3 no-hitters. And this is what really got Justin Verlander into the top 5 for me this week. He owns an MLB record career postseason strikeouts of 244 strikeouts. So he owns a record. And like I said, he could keep adding to this resume, because even though I feel like this is his last year, who knows? He could still play next year, and who knows what's going to happen. But I will say this is a stellar resume for a dude who's still in the league. And he's just been flat out a game changer. An absolute game-changing pitcher. I mean, he, to me, was like the last piece of that Houston Astros dynasty. When that Astros dynasty started going, they traded it for Verlander, and then boom, they just took off and went to the World Series, it felt like, every year for about 6 or 7 years. Or at least were competitive to go to the World Series. So Justin Verlander, hands down one of the greatest pitchers of all time, and definitely one of the top 5 strikeout kings in the history of the league. Then at number 4 on my top 5 strikeout kings, Steve Carlton. Spent most of his career with the St. Louis Cardinals and the Philadelphia Phillies from 1965 to 1988. He is number 4 all-time on the strikeouts list with 4,136 strikeouts. So yes, he has eclipsed 4,000 strikeouts. 329 wins, 244 losses, so that's a great record right there. A 3.22 career ERA. He is a 2-time World Series champion, a 4-time Cy Young Award winner. He's won a triple crown for a pitcher. 4 times he's led the league in wins, and he is a 5-time strikeout leader as well. So Steve Carlton, obviously, you hit 4,000, you have got to be a strikeout king for sure. I was really close to putting Verlander above him, but then I was like, man, he's got one more Cy Young, and they're both pretty equal in a lot of categories, and plus, Carlton's got over 4,000 strikeouts. Verlander's got quite a ways to go. As a matter of fact, Verlander probably needs a couple of more seasons to even get near 4,000, because like I said, he's at 3,554. So he's got a little ways to go. But Carlton, he got well over that 4,000 mark. Then at number 3 on my Tropp 5 Strikeout Kings. Like I said, the top 3 here was very difficult for me, but then once you start breaking it down, it gets pretty easy. So it's Roger Clemens. He spent most of his career with the Boston Red Sox, the New York Yankees, and the Houston Astros from 1984 to 2007. He is number 3 on the all-time strikeout leaders. He has 4,672 career strikeouts, 354 wins, 184 losses. So, I mean, one of the most consistent pitchers. 3.12 career ERA. He is a 2-time World Series champion. He won an MVP. He is a 7-time Cy Young Award winner. He is a 2-time Triple Crown winner. He led the league 4 times in wins, 7 times in the lowest ERA, 5 times in strikeouts. But here we go. He owns a record, an MLB record, for having 2 games in which they went 9 innings pitched, and he had 20 strikeouts in 1 game. He did that twice. That is an MLB record. So it's stats like that. I mean, Roger Clemens, the dude just threw gas. He is one of my favorite players. Growing up watching him, I had so much fun watching Roger Clemens, and he would just mow down motherfuckers. But it was really difficult to put him at number 3, but 1 and 2 are pretty easy with a bullet. I feel like 1 and 2 are easily the Strikeout Kings. So let's get right to number 2 on my Tropp 5 Strikeout Kings. Number 2, Randy Johnson. Spent his career with the Montreal Expos, the Seattle Mariners, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the New York Yankees, the San Francisco Giants, a couple other teams in between as well, from 1988 to 2009. He is number 2 on the all-time strikeouts list with 4,875 strikeouts. He just is below the 5,000 mark. And real talk, if you remember Randy Johnson, that was all this dude did. I mean, he delivered heat. One of his most famous moments is when he blew up a bird. Literally, a bird flew by as he is throwing the ball, and the bird blew up. We don't know where the bird went. Its feathers just exploded into the air, and then the bird went away. Like it flew away somewhere, probably to die because it got just obliterated by one of Randy Johnson's pitches. But his career wins, 303 wins. Career losses, 166, with a career ERA of 3.29. He is a 1-time World Series champ. He is a 5-time Cy Young Award winner. He has won a Triple Crown. He is a 4-time ERA leader and a 9-time strikeout leader with a perfect game and a no-hitter as well. And it's just, when you think of strikeouts, there's only one guy I think of above Randy Johnson. But Randy Johnson, man, he just would mow motherfuckers down. That's all he did. He was just so difficult to get on base against, and he led the league 9 times in strikeouts. Like, that's what he did. You know, some of these guys, it's hard to even, like, get on base with. Sometimes they're known for throwing heat, but Randy Johnson would just strike you out, and you would just be staring at him like, did he just throw that pitch or what? And he did. So Randy Johnson, just an amazing pitcher and obviously one of the greatest strikeout kings of all time. But number 1 was very easy of my Tropp 5 strikeout kings because he is the only pitcher to eclipse 5,000 strikeouts. He's actually near 6,000 strikeouts. I don't think anybody's ever going to come close to this. I mean, Randy Johnson is at 4,875. And the number 1 guy is out 5,714. So if Randy Johnson couldn't do it, I don't know who the fuck can. And in today's day and age, pitchers don't really go that long in games anymore. It's very rare for them to actually even have a complete game. It's actually rare for them to go past 6 innings at this point. So I don't know if anybody's ever going to be touching the greatness that is Nolan Ryan, who is number 1 on my Tropp 5 Strikeout Kings. There's nobody else. There is literally nobody else you could put at number 1. Nolan Ryan was New York Mets, California Angels, Houston Astros, Texas Rangers, a couple other teams in between from 1966 to 1993. But he is number 1 with a bullet in all-time strikeouts with 5,714 strikeouts. 5,714 strikeouts. Let me repeat this top 5 list with number 2 behind him is Randy Johnson, 4,875. Number 3 is Roger Clemens, 4,672. And then the only other guy to be in the 4,000 club, Steve Carlton, 4,136. And then, of course, Justin Verlander, who's the only guy who's currently pitching, who's close enough with 3,554. And then you got Scherzer, who I think is at 3,503 or 5. So those are the only 2 active players at 3,500. And they don't have a shot at touching Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan's career wins, 324, career losses, 292, with a career ERA of 3.19. He is a one-time World Series champion. He led the league twice in ERA, but he is an 11-time strikeout king. Yes, I'll say that again. He led the league in strikeouts 11 times. That should be no shock since he has 5,714 strikeouts. He also has a Major League Baseball record of 7 no-hitters. Nobody has even come close to that many no-hitters. Notice the only guys on this list who have no-hitters, Randy Johnson has 1, and Justin Verlander has 3. So Nolan Ryan has 7. I mean, just that alone, it's just insane. The dominance of Nolan Ryan. I mean, Christ on a cross. This guy was one of the greatest pitchers, if not the greatest pitcher of all time. I mean, he was so fantastic to watch. But as a strikeout king, this is obviously the strikeout king. 5,714. I will say it again. 5,714. Nobody's coming close to that. Nobody. I know Mizorowski is probably... If you're looking at current dudes in the league, maybe he's got a shot. Because, he's in, his second year, I believe. And he is mowing motherfuckers down. But at the same time, he's throwing heat. And he's throwing those heaters at like 100+ miles an hour. That just screams Tommy John surgery at some point. Which means he's probably going to be out and injured. Now, I'm not wishing for this. It would be great to see somebody come close to what Nolan Ryan has done. But, I mean, I just talked about Justin Verlander, who's still currently in the league. Max Scherzer, who's another one who's currently in the league, who's got an insane resume as well. Like, those 2 guys, they're fantastic, but they're not going to come near Nolan Ryan. So I don't know if Mizorowski can do it. Now, I'll be watching Miz, and I'm hoping he's going to come close. But I don't know. We'll see. But Nolan Ryan, that dude was the strikeout king. Ain't nobody did it like Nolan Ryan. That's just straight up facts, y'all. All right, y'all. Enjoy the weekend of sports, and I will talk to you fools on Monday.